Welcome everyone. Those stories in just a moment, but first we start with German automaker Volkswagen announcing that it has reached a deal with labor unions. It will be cutting over 30,000 jobs within the next 5 years. Now, Europe's largest automaker says it's all part of a plan to boost profitability and shift gears towards electric and self-driving cars. Volkswagen has been in the news lately because of all the emissions scandal. It's also been trying to cover the cost for all of that cleanup. We're now going to our correspondent Sumit Chaturvedi, our chief business correspondent who joined us live from the newsroom. Sumit, thanks so much for joining us with regards to the story. Well, what does this mean, now coming that Volkswagen is slashing these jobs, most of them we understand 23,000 to be specific, in Germany alone? What does this move mean?
Well, Archit, it's a clear fallout of the scandal that engulfed one of the biggest automakers in the world, Volkswagen, around 1 year back. So this is now a clear fallout of that scandal that Volkswagen is cutting around 30,000 jobs across the globe. Well, Volkswagen has taken a beating post that scandal, and it's going to pay around $8 billion in fine to US authorities. So that will be a huge hit on its books, and taking a cue from that, they have to cut costs somewhere because they have to maintain the margins. Though Volkswagen the cars are sold in India as well, but they are majorly focused on Western countries and also Eastern countries, not very much in Asia. Well, Volkswagen currently produces cars like Audi, the Volkswagen brand name cars, even Bentley and other cars are made under Volkswagen brand. So this is a huge scandal that broke last year, where the Volkswagen was accused of fudging the engine records and not meeting the emission norms across the world. So it's clear fallout of that scandal that Volkswagen is now cutting 30,000 jobs, which is around 5% of the total jobs across the globe. Yes, there was some pressure earlier on the company. Company had earlier announced that there will be job cuts, and now the job cuts have finally come.
Well, Sumit, what about the industry on the whole? Do we have any information about that? What type of a precedent does this set? We know about the scandal that happened with Volkswagen. Now we're hearing news, several months later about the job slash. What type of a precedence does this set for other car makers around the globe when it comes to, beating around the bush, not dealing with some of these issues like the emissions head on?
Well, that's a very relevant question here, because many times they're trying to pass the buck by sacking people so that there is some pressure on the economy, because the people or economy, or the political pressure on the economy, or on the polity as well, so that there is some kind of leniency from the side of polity. Well, remember, in automobile industry case, a lot of jobs are on temporary basis, which is as per the demand. So when the job sackings happen, first for the temporary workers. If we take example of country like India, where the largest car maker Maruti Suzuki also employs around 50% of its workforce on a temporary basis, or they employ that workforce on their need basis. So the sacking happens first for those people who are on a temporary pay scale, then they go for the permanent employees. Well, that's a culture adopted by automobile companies throughout the world. Yes, in that particular case, they are trying to somehow save their skin, because they can't let their margins go so much. $8 billion is around 2 to 3 years of margin of the income for Volkswagen. So clearly they are not able to take that, and that's why the sackings are happening. But imagine, the point here is that 5% of the sackings are happening. So there's a lot of workforce which is still there, and they are not going for a massive layoff of the workforce.
All right, Sumit Chaturvedi, our chief business correspondent, providing us that perspective with regards to the 30,000 jobs cut with Volkswagen. Thank you so much for that update. We'll check back with you later on.